Hello everyone and welcome to another beer review. Right, today we're on a Bock. Now this is one of the beers that my dear lady wife brought back from Lanzarote last year, tail end of last year. And yeah, the last time I opened one of these bottles it pissed everywhere, so hopefully this one isn't going to do the same. We'll have no repetition. So a Bock. Now, I don't really drink many Bocks, but a Bock is more of a kind of a dark lager, with basically a bit heavy on the malt and a bit light on the hops as well, that type of thing. And yeah, strangely enough, Bocks are the more kind of traditional lagers that they were making in Germany and the Czech Republic, or Czechoslovakia, or Bohemia at the time. Before they all started stealing the how to roast malt from the British, because this was the problem, is they couldn't do lightly roasted malt. They were always burning the arse out of it and charring it out, basically burning it to buggery, and they couldn't do lightly roasted, and they actually stole the techniques of doing that from the British. So there you go. And now we talk about, oh yes, home of Pilsner, home of lager, all this type of stuff. Yeah, well, if they didn't steal the bloody technology from the British in the first place, they wouldn't have had the bloody drink then, would they? So there you go. They'd still be drinking Bock. But anyway, let's get it cracked open and see. But that's actually the truth, by the way. That's a historical fact. In fact, there's actually some famous brewing families in Germany that actually admit to actually going over to the UK purposely just to try and steal that technology. There you go. There's not much I can really say about this apart from it's 7%, which is usually, Bocks are usually kind of a higher alcohol content than standard lager. And it's a 33ml bottle. I don't know how much it costs, but oh God. I'm thinking now, if this starts pissing, how quickly can I grab the glass? In fact, I might just put the glass between my legs. Lucky glass. Anyway. Oh shit, balls, fucking balls. That's shit, fuck. Yes, it did the same. Fucking bastard, yeah. Bloody Spanish. So anyway. It's dripping off the bottle, you can see. Absolute bastard, so yeah. Jesus. Oh, moist, says my trousers. Anyway, so for people on the podcast, it's quite a dark colour and it's staining the wood. So it is staining my bloody jeans as well. It's it's a kind of really dark kind of ruby colour. You can just see a bit of light coming through, so it's not completely black. And it's got I think it lost quite a lot of its head as it decided to kind of exit the bottle under its own propulsion, basically. But yeah. Yeah, it's a kind of slightly off-white head. It's kind of tanned coloured head. I would probably say it'd be around maybe about half a finger. But that landed in the floor. Right, let's have a wee smell of booze. Again, that's the seat, not me. I'm getting a bit of malt. Yeah. Getting slightly more molasses kind of smells. So slightly syrupy smells. And that's really it. Not really getting any grain. Of course, I'm not going to get any hops because hops are kind of the lightly hop Bock lager, so there. So let's see what it tastes like. That's actually not too bad, actually. Again, it's a sequel. I'll just move my feet so that's moist patches annoying me. On my trousers, that is. But yes, there's a fucking hole there now. Oh, in the name of God. Anyway, when did that happen? That wasn't there previously. Right, plenty of places falling bits. No wonder it keeps getting christened in beer. But anyway, it's actually quite nice. I actually expected this to be a little bit more bitter on the back end because you are kind of using very dark, heavily roasted malts. But it's done that kind of European style, which, let's be totally honest, is not heavy roasting. It's burning the arse out of it. It's almost like fucking charcoal, let's be totally honest. Some of their dark roasted malts, you're thinking, aye. But yeah, it has got some nice malt flavours there. The downside is, though, is the alcohol. The alcohol's a wee bit heavier. I mean, it's only 7%, but it's showing up. This is the thing, you're getting that kind of slightly ethanol kind of feedback. So yeah, which is giving it a slight, ever so slight, Jesus, chemical feel to it, ever so slight. It's not really chemical feel, but let's be totally honest, ethanol in its rawest form is a well, it's an alcohol basically, you know. And yeah, it does kind of highlight that slightly chemical-esque to the back end. Not that it's anything too bad, but it is. It just feels a little bit too much. It's affecting the flavour of the beer in a slight negative way. But there's a little bit of richness to it. It's light, but there's a little bit of richness to it because of the strong flavours, because it is quite strong, quite concentrated flavours. It's definitely something to be savoured. It's not a sessionable, but at 7%, you wouldn't expect it to be sessionable, but it's definitely not sessionable. I think maybe one or two nicely sipped of a kind of winter's evening would be the kind of best type of environment for it and the best way of drinking it. But flavour wise, let's try to break them down. Right, I'm getting kind of slightly bitter molasses malt flavours at the start, a little bit of grain, but it's really all about the malt, which is what Box really should be. It should be all about the malt. Let's be realistic. It's not supposed to be anything else really. But yeah, it's quite dark roasted, and it is giving that slightly bitterness, slightly kind of molasses kind of feel. Sweetness wise, not really. I mean, there might be a little bit there, but not much, and it's really overpowered by the slightly kind of bitterness edge coming from the kind of malt. Like I said, in the front of the mouth, very little grain. Moves on to the mid tongue, and this is where the alcohol starts to come in. You've still got the bitterness of the molasses kind of malt edge. There's no real sweetness there, but what you are doing is you just stand to get in the kind of middle of the mid tongue, you start to get the alcohol appearing, and it's slightly coming through as a slightly kind of chemical kind of edge to it, and it's just slightly throwing the mid tongue. So it's just, you know, it's not adding any benefit to it. It's kind of slightly distracting away from it, because there's a nice little bitter edge. There is a bitter edge right from front to back with this beer, which is fine. It's nice. I'm quite happy with that. But excuse me, just that kind of ethanol kind of chemical edge in the mid tongue is just slightly kind of throwing it a bit and detracting. And then you're moving on to the aftertaste, which is, it's quite a clean finish. It doesn't really linger. You get a little bit of bitterness as it tails off. The flavours just come into the aftertaste and just start to kind of, back of the mouth, and just start to kind of tail off quite quickly. And the bitterness just ever so slightly just hangs about just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer, and then that's it, it's gone. It's quite a clean finish. But what I've noticed is after that last sip there, I was noticing that the bitterness is getting a little bit more kind of controlled as my mouth becomes more acclimatized to it. I'm starting noticing a little hint of sweetness there that wasn't there in the first couple of sips. And I would say the chemical kind of ethanol edge is kind of slightly dying down as well, just as your mouth is just getting a bit more acclimatized to it. So it's not so bad from that point. And overall, it's a bloody sticky bastard. So it is. My fingers are stuck together because it's splattered everywhere, and it is a bit fucking annoying. so, so yes, it's quite therapy. But yeah, overall, it's actually quite a nice beer. And a bit unusual one to find from the kind of Canary Islands. It's a bit strange, but yeah, fair play that they're trying to do something a bit different, something kind of away from the kind of norm of kind of Spanish lagers and things like that, and lighter beers. And yeah, I'm kind of quite impressed with this one. Mm. You be looking at there's a little bit of sediment there as well, so maybe that's why. We're not saying it's bottle conditioned, but I'm starting to think it bloody is, because that's 2 bottles in a row that have bloody exploded on me the minute I popped them open. The problem is they've been lying there for ages. I mean, one was sitting there for ages upright in the fridge, and one was sitting on its side, flat out, horizontal, um, for quite a period as well. And you're thinking, well, why is it exploding like an absolute bastard? And that's the reason why. There's a little bit of bottle conditioning going on, as you can see in the bottom is the sediment. And yeah, that's why. Which again, fair play to them. Bottle conditioning, doing a Bock, everything else, I wouldn't have expected that coming from the Canary Islands and a brewery based there. But it's good that they're kind of, like I say, breaking away from the kind of norm. And I think that's a good thing. But doing it in a proper way, not like let's make crazy shit ass flavours, beers, and let's be a wanker about it. No, let's try making a different style, more traditional beer that's kind of associated with this kind of region. And yeah, it's just really sticky. But yeah, fair play to them. So it's kind of surprising. So, what would I give this out of 10? There's a question. Well, it's not my first choice. Only because I've had some terrible Bocks in the past. Terrible ones. Been all over the place, overly bitter, to the point as that, you're starting getting the kind of burnt smokiness coming through, and it just, some of them have been quite horrible, I'll be totally honest. But this one's actually done quite nice. It's actually not too bad. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best Bock I've ever had, but I'm quite surprised at the quality. I was kind of dubious, thinking, oh, here we go, Bock. God knows what this is going to taste like. But it surprised me, and fair play to it. It should take the pat in the back for that, so yeah. So out of 10, what would I give this? Again, I don't know what it costs. I honestly don't. I'll obviously put the details if I can find them down below, but I think this was part of a 3-pack anyway. And they are only small bottles as well, so. But overall, what would I give this? I'm actually going to give it a 6. And it's quite an easy 6. I'm kind of slightly, I mean, I could maybe give it a 6.5, but I don't know the price. And of course, it's also a 330ml bottle. And they didn't mention anything about it being basically bottle conditioned. So that's 2 I've had explode on me. So the third one, I don't know where the third one is, but there's the third one. Oh shit, I've lost it. Because that's going to get into trouble with the wife. Because the wife said, how come you're not reviewing that beer? I got you. I am. And then when I went to Scotland, I took 2 of them with me, but I left 1 bottle down here. And she's like, oh, so you left my bottles behind? No, I took 2 of your bottles and I left the lighter one behind because it wasn't one I wanted to do in the winter because it was too light. You see the jip I have to go through. Even the wife's basically, chastise me, thinking, "Maybe you're doing me." Fuck off. So yeah. So that's kind of slightly goes against it because it's a smaller bottle, and again, I'm not really sure of the price, and there probably will be a kind of premium. It's a tourist industry for a start, the Canary Islands, so things are usually hyped up in price, especially if it's something supposed to be more local or something a bit more premium. Because let's be totally honest, in a lot of the Canary Islands, there's a lot of cheap shite, so there is, especially with alcohol. The famous thing was a euro a pint, a pint of piss, let's be totally honest, but you think, oh, get it for a euro. Seriously, it's piss. I wouldn't want it if they're giving it away for fucking free, you know what I mean? But this is what they go on about, so people tend to kind of drop their standards when they go to the Canary Islands, and all manner of things, from the out-looking women to the out-looking beer, But yeah, so I would expect this to have a little bit of premium to it and a little bit more tourist pricing. But yeah, I would give it a 6 out of 10 because it's actually quite nice and quite surprised by it. So fair play to them from that point of view. So anyway, it's 6 out of 10. It's 7%. It's a 330ml bottle. I don't have a clue what it costs. But hey, thanks for watching. Cheers and bye for now.